When it comes to dating, Filipinos are known for their warmth, loyalty, and deep emotional commitment. Many foreign men are drawn to these qualities, believing that dating a Filipina can lead to a loving and fulfilling relationship. However, what often goes unnoticed are the fears and concerns that Filipinos have when entering relationships with foreigners. These fears aren't always voiced openly but can affect the dynamics of the relationship if not understood and addressed. Today, we'll explore the 7 biggest fears that Filipinos have when dating a foreign man. If you're thinking about starting a relationship with a Filipina, understanding these fears is essential for building trust, respect, and a lasting connection. One of the most significant fears that Filipinos have is the fear of being abandoned. The Philippines has its share of stories where foreigners arrive, date a Filipina, make promises of a future together, and then leave without warning. This fear stems from real experiences many women have either personally faced or heard about from others. When a foreign man expresses interest, a Filipina might wonder, is he serious? Will he stay? Or will he leave once his vacation is over? The fear of abandonment isn't just about being left alone. It's about being emotionally invested in someone who may not feel the same depth of commitment. For many Filipinos, loyalty and dedication are not taken lightly. They give their hearts fully, and the thought of being left behind after offering their love is a genuine concern. This fear can make them cautious, prompting them to observe how consistent and serious a foreign man's intentions truly are. Another common fear is the fear of cultural misunderstanding. The Philippines has a unique culture deeply rooted in family values, respect for elders, and community ties. When dating a foreign man, a Filipina might worry that he won't fully understand or appreciate these cultural norms. For example, family involvement in a relationship is common in the Philippines. Decisions often involve family discussions, and family approval can be critical. A Filipina might fear that her partner will view this as interference rather than a sign of care and connection. She may also worry about how cultural differences in communication, religion, and traditions will affect the relationship. Will he respect my culture? Will he be patient enough to understand the importance of my family? These questions can linger, creating anxiety about whether the relationship can truly work long-term. Trust issues also loom large for many Filipinos when dating foreigners. The fear of being played or used is real. Some foreigners have gained reputations for seeking only short-term flings, which has left some Filipinos wary of foreign men's intentions. This fear is especially strong in relationships that start online or long distance. When a Filipina hears sweet words and grand promises from someone she hasn't met in person, she may question the sincerity behind them. Is he saying the same things to other women? Does he truly mean what he says? Or is he just looking for a temporary romance? These doubts can make her guarded until the foreign man proves his sincerity through actions rather than just words. Consistency, honesty, and transparency are key to easing this fear and building a foundation of trust. Another fear that Filipinos often have revolves around physical and emotional safety. Unfortunately, there have been instances where Filipinos have found themselves in abusive relationships with foreign partners. These stories create a lingering fear that the person they are dating may not be who they claim to be. Will he respect my boundaries? Will he treat me kindly? Will I be safe if I move abroad with him? These questions highlight concerns about both emotional well-being and physical security. Filipinos may also worry about being isolated if they move to another country with their partner. Leaving behind family, friends, and familiar surroundings is daunting, especially if the relationship turns sour. This fear underscores the importance of building trust slowly and ensuring that both partners feel secure in the relationship. The fear of being judged or misunderstood is another significant concern. Filipinos dating foreigners are sometimes unfairly stereotyped, with assumptions that they are only interested in money or a better life abroad. These stereotypes can be hurtful and damaging, especially when the relationship is genuine. A Filipina might worry about how her partner's friends and family perceive her. Will they think I'm after his money? Will they believe our relationship is real? These fears are not just about reputation, but also about being accepted and respected for who they are. Overcoming this fear requires reassurance from the foreign partner, demonstrating through words and actions that he values her for her character, values, and personality, not because of harmful stereotypes. Financial expectations can also become a source of fear in relationships between Filipinas and foreign men. While not all Filipinas expect financial support, the cultural reality is that many feel a responsibility to help their families. A Filipina might fear that her partner will misunderstand this responsibility or view her as a burden. What if he thinks I'm using him if I ask for help? Will he think less of me if I support my family? These worries can create hesitation in discussing important financial matters. On the other hand, some Filipinas fear that financial expectations from their partner's side could arise, leading to a relationship dynamic based more on money than genuine connection. Open and honest conversations about finances are essential to addressing these concerns and ensuring both partners understand each other's responsibilities and expectations. Lastly, the fear of not being enough or not meeting expectations is a deep-seated worry for many Filipinas. Foreign men sometimes have preconceived notions about what they expect in a Filipina partner, whether it's related to appearance, lifestyle, or personality. A Filipina may wonder, am I good enough for him? Will he lose interest if I'm not as sophisticated or experienced as women from his country? This fear ties closely to self-esteem and the desire to be valued for who they truly are. The pressure to live up to certain standards can be overwhelming, especially when trying to adapt to cultural differences. This fear can cause a Filipina to hold back parts of her personality, fearing that being completely herself might lead to rejection. For the relationship to flourish, the foreign man needs to provide consistent reassurance, showing that he values her authenticity rather than an idealized version of her. Understanding these 7 fears is crucial for any foreign man who genuinely wants to build a meaningful relationship with a Filipina. The fears of abandonment, cultural misunderstandings, trust issues, personal safety, judgment, financial expectations, and not meeting expectations are real concerns that shape how Filipinas approach relationships. These fears don't mean that Filipinas are unwilling to open their hearts. Rather, they reflect a deep desire for security, respect, and genuine love. Building a strong relationship means addressing these fears openly and consistently. Patience is key. Rushing a Filipina into a relationship without giving her time to assess your sincerity can backfire. Take time to understand her culture, meet her family, and show respect for the things that matter to her. Your actions will always speak louder than words. Proving reliability through consistency, honesty, and clear communication will help her trust you and see the potential for a lasting partnership. It's also essential to have open conversations about expectations, whether financial, cultural, or emotional. Address the topics that matter early on so that both partners know where they stand. Listen actively to her concerns and share your own openly. Relationships thrive when both people feel heard, understood, and respected. Most importantly, be genuine. Many Filipinas fear being deceived because they give their hearts wholeheartedly when they trust someone. If you truly value her, let her see who you are, your flaws, dreams, and fears. Real love grows when both partners are authentic and vulnerable with each other. In conclusion, dating a Filipina is an incredibly rewarding experience if approached with sincerity, respect, and understanding. By acknowledging and addressing these common fears, you pave the way for a relationship built on trust, loyalty, and love. The connection you can form goes beyond cultural differences when you take the time to build a solid foundation. So, if you're planning to date a Filipina, remember that what she fears most isn't love, it's being loved for the wrong reasons. If your heart is in the right place, you might just find a love that lasts a lifetime. A foreign man arrives in the Philippines, filled with excitement and curiosity about dating a Filipina. Everything he's heard about the warmth, loyalty, and kindness of Filipinas seems to come true the moment he meets one. She greets him with a smile, engages in meaningful conversation, and shows a level of attention that feels refreshing. From the start, things feel easy and natural. She checks on him, sends sweet messages, and seems genuinely interested in getting to know him. To the foreign man, it feels like he's finally found what he's been looking for, a partner who values love, care, and connection. But while the surface looks perfect, what he doesn't realize is that she may be carrying unspoken fears, concerns that could affect the relationship if not addressed. At first glance, it's easy to believe that everything is perfect. The Filipina appears happy, affectionate, and open. She shares stories about her family, talks about her dreams, and seems comfortable in his company. However, beneath the smiles and laughter, doubts may linger. She might be asking herself questions that the foreign man doesn't hear. Asterisk, is he truly serious about this relationship? Will he stay, or will he leave when his trip ends? Asterisk, these thoughts are often unspoken but very real. For many Filipinos, the fear of abandonment is a quiet but persistent worry. The stories of foreigners who promise love only to leave when it's time to return home are common. These experiences create a cautious mindset, making her hesitant to fully invest emotionally until she's sure of his intentions. The foreign man, caught up in the excitement of a new relationship, may not see these doubts. He might assume that her friendliness and affection mean complete trust. But trust takes time. Filipinos are known for their loyalty, but that loyalty is given only when they feel secure. The fear of being left behind is not just emotional, it's also practical. In a society where relationships are seen as steps toward marriage and family, being abandoned can carry social stigma. For the Filipina, committing to someone who might not be serious could have long-term emotional consequences. The foreign man needs to understand that behind the easy smiles lies a cautious heart, waiting for consistency and reassurance. Another layer of complexity emerges when cultural differences become apparent. In the beginning, cultural differences may seem charming. The foreign man might enjoy learning about local traditions, trying Filipino food, and experiencing the hospitality of Filipino families. However, cultural differences can become sources of misunderstanding as the relationship progresses. Filipinos often come from backgrounds where family is central. Decisions, especially those involving relationships, aren't made alone. Family approval matters. A foreign man who doesn't understand this might interpret family involvement as interference. He might wonder why decisions about the relationship seem to involve her parents or siblings. For the Filipina, involving family is a sign of seriousness and respect. Ignoring this aspect of her life can lead to feelings of isolation and misunderstanding. The fear of cultural rejection is real. A Filipina may wonder, asterisk, will he respect my family's opinions? Will he think my culture is too different from his? Asterisk, these questions create hesitation. She may worry that her partner will eventually grow tired of cultural differences, leading to disappointment. If the foreign man dismisses or belittles aspects of her culture, it can damage trust. To overcome this, he must show genuine interest in her background, learn about her traditions, and respect the role her family plays in her life. Understanding cultural nuances is essential for building a relationship that can withstand challenges. Trust issues also arise when intentions aren't clear. The foreign man might believe that saying "I love you" or expressing commitment is enough. However, for many Filipinos, actions speak louder than words. Past experiences with foreigners who made promises but didn't follow through contribute to skepticism. Asterisk, does he mean what he says? Or is he just enjoying a temporary romance? Asterisk, these doubts don't disappear overnight. The foreign man must demonstrate consistency through visits, regular communication, and involving her in future plans. Trust is built through reliability, not just romantic gestures. Additionally, there's the fear of emotional and physical safety. While many foreign men have good intentions, some do not. Stories of abuse and mistreatment by foreigners circulate in Filipino communities. These stories, whether rare or common, create underlying fears. Asterisk, will he respect my boundaries? Will I be safe if I move abroad with him? Asterisk, these concerns extend beyond physical safety to emotional well-being. A Filipina might worry about being isolated if she leaves her home country for her partner. Without her support network of family and friends, she could feel vulnerable. The foreign man needs to recognize this fear and address it with transparency. If the relationship is moving toward relocation, he should provide assurances about her safety, support network, and emotional well-being. The fear of judgment also weighs heavily. Filipinos who date foreigners sometimes face stereotypes. People may assume they are only after money or a better life abroad. These harmful assumptions can affect how a Filipina feels about herself and her relationship. She might worry, asterisk, do his friends think I'm just looking for a visa? Will his family believe our relationship is genuine? Asterisk, these fears of being judged can cause her to withdraw or hesitate to move forward. For the foreign man, Combating these stereotypes requires more than just words. Publicly acknowledging the relationship, introducing her to friends and family, and standing up against prejudiced remarks show her that he values and respects her for who she is. Financial concerns can also become a point of tension. The foreign man might not realize that financial expectations in Filipino culture are different. Filipinos often feel a responsibility to support their families. A foreign partner, perceived as financially capable, might be expected to help. For the Filipina, asking for financial support can be a source of anxiety. Will he think I'm using him? Will he see me as a burden? These fears can prevent open discussions about finances, leading to misunderstandings. On the flip side, some Filipinos fear that their foreign partners might use financial power to control the relationship. Honest, upfront conversations about money are essential. Setting boundaries and understanding cultural expectations prevent these fears from growing into problems. The fear of not meeting expectations is another internal struggle. Foreign men sometimes have idealized images of Filipinos, expectations based on appearance, behavior, or lifestyle. A Filipina may wonder, am I enough? Will he lose interest if I don't fit his image? These insecurities can lead to self-doubt and anxiety. The foreign man must recognize the impact of these unspoken pressures. Reassurance is key, showing appreciation for her true self, not just the idealized version. This includes acknowledging her strengths, supporting her ambitions, and making her feel valued for who she is, not just how she looks or behaves. Long-distance dynamics add further complexity. Many relationships between Filipinos and foreigners begin online or during brief visits. The distance creates uncertainty. Time zone differences, limited face-to-face interaction, and long periods apart can amplify fears. Will he forget about me? Is he seeing someone else? These questions become louder in the absence of regular, meaningful interaction. Maintaining trust in a long-distance relationship requires effort. Regular communication, visits, and clear plans for the future help ease fears. Consistency is crucial. Small gestures, good morning texts, sharing daily experiences, or planning future visits go a long way in reassuring a Filipina that her partner is committed. Religious differences may also become apparent. The Philippines is predominantly Catholic, and religion plays a significant role in many Filipinos' lives. For some, faith influences decisions, daily practices, and long-term goals. If the foreign man comes from a different religious background, questions arise. Will he respect my beliefs? Will our differences cause problems in the future? These fears can create emotional distance if not addressed. Open discussions about faith, respect for each other's beliefs, and shared values help bridge religious differences. The foreign man should show willingness to learn about his partner's faith, even if he doesn't share it. Ultimately, these fears reflect a desire for genuine connection. Filipinos seek relationships where they feel safe, valued, and respected. The foreign man who recognizes and addresses these fears creates a relationship built on trust and understanding. It's not enough to enjoy the early excitement of dating. Sustaining the relationship requires patience, communication, and empathy. To overcome these fears, the foreign man must take deliberate steps. First, consistency is key. Actions must match words. Promises of future plans should be followed by clear steps toward making those plans a reality. Second, cultural sensitivity is essential. Learning about Filipino culture, respecting family involvement, and embracing traditions show commitment. Third, open communication builds trust. Discussing finances, future goals, and cultural differences prevents misunderstandings. Fourth, reassurance through small, daily actions strengthens emotional security. Finally, authenticity matters most. Filipinos value sincerity. Being honest about intentions, vulnerabilities, and expectations creates a safe space for the relationship to grow. In the end, the foreign man who understands these fears doesn't just build a relationship, he builds a partnership. A partnership based on mutual respect, shared values, and deep emotional connection. The fears don't disappear overnight, but with time, effort, and understanding they fade. What remains is a relationship grounded in trust, loyalty, and love. A connection that can truly stand the test of time. For many Filipinos, the fears they carry when dating a foreign man are deeply rooted in real experiences, cultural expectations, and the desire for genuine love. These fears, while sometimes unspoken, can shape how they approach relationships. When these concerns are not addressed or acknowledged, they can lead to misunderstandings, frustration, and ultimately heartbreak. Even relationships that seemed perfect at first can fall apart if both partners aren't prepared to confront these issues together. The truth is that love, no matter how passionate and promising it feels at the beginning, cannot thrive without understanding, trust, and open communication. Some foreign men, caught up in the charm and warmth of dating a Filipina, fail to recognize the depth of these fears. They assume that affection and attention mean everything is perfect. However, when challenges arise, whether it's dealing with family expectations, financial conversations, or cultural misunderstandings, they feel caught off guard. They may not realize that for a Filipina, these issues were always present, just waiting for the right moment to surface. The foreign man might wonder, what went wrong? Why is she suddenly distant? Why do things feel different now? These questions often arise because the deeper fears that Filipinas have weren't addressed early in the relationship. For some couples, the breaking point comes when trust issues arise. A Filipina who once seemed confident in the relationship might become withdrawn or suspicious if she feels her partner isn't as committed as he initially seemed. The fear of abandonment becomes more intense when promises are broken or when the foreign man becomes inconsistent. Maybe he said he would return soon but delayed his visit. Maybe he started talking less, making her feel like she was no longer a priority. These small changes can reignite old fears, making her question the future of the relationship. Is he losing interest? Did I believe in something that wasn't real? These doubts can lead to distance, both emotionally and physically. Cultural differences that were once seen as charming can also become sources of frustration. The foreign man might begin to feel burdened by family involvement, questioning why every decision seems to require approval or discussion with her relatives. On the other hand, the Filipina might feel caught between her partner and her family, fearing that choosing one means losing the other. This tension can create resentment. The foreign man might think, why can't we just make decisions for ourselves? While the Filipina wonders, why can't he understand how important my family is to me? These unspoken frustrations can erode the foundation of the relationship. Financial concerns further complicate matters. A Filipina who feels responsible for supporting her family might hesitate to discuss these obligations openly, fearing judgment or rejection. If the foreign man misunderstands these cultural responsibilities, he might see them as burdens or signs of opportunism. The Filipina, feeling misunderstood, might withdraw emotionally. He doesn't understand my world, she might think. Meanwhile, the foreign man, unaware of the cultural context, might feel used or unappreciated. This lack of understanding can turn what was once a loving relationship into one filled with suspicion and doubt. Long-distance relationships amplify these fears and misunderstandings. Many relationships between Filipinas and foreigners rely on online communication, especially in the early stages. Distance makes trust harder to build and easier to break. Time zone differences, busy schedules, and limited face-to-face interactions create gaps that fears can fill. What if he finds someone else? What if he's no longer interested? These questions plague the Filipina's mind, especially if her partner becomes less communicative. For the foreign man, maintaining trust requires consistent effort, regular calls, future planning, and reassuring gestures that show commitment. Without these efforts, the relationship becomes vulnerable to doubt and insecurity. Some couples believe that marriage is the solution to these challenges. They assume that legal commitment will erase fears of abandonment, cultural differences, and financial misunderstandings. However, marriage brings its own set of challenges, especially in the Philippines, where divorce is not an option. For couples who rush into marriage without addressing underlying fears, the reality of lifelong commitment can be overwhelming. The foreign man may realize too late that he didn't fully understand what marriage meant in this cultural context. The Filipina, who hoped marriage would bring security, might feel trapped if her partner withdraws emotionally after the wedding. The legal and emotional complexities of ending a marriage in the Philippines make it difficult to walk away, leaving both partners feeling stuck in a relationship that no longer brings happiness. In the worst cases, relationships end in silence. The Filipina, unable to express her fears and frustrations, chooses to walk away rather than confront difficult conversations. The foreign man, feeling blindsided, doesn't understand why things fell apart. What did I do wrong, he might wonder. The truth is that relationships built on surface-level understanding cannot survive the deeper challenges that arise over time. Without addressing fears, building trust, and embracing cultural differences, even the most promising relationships can crumble. However, it doesn't have to end this way. The difference between relationships that break and those that thrive lies in preparation, patience, and empathy. For the foreign man who truly values his relationship with a Filipina, understanding her fears is the first step toward building a lasting partnership. These fears of abandonment, cultural misunderstanding, judgment, financial pressure, and not being enough are not obstacles to love but opportunities to deepen the connection. Addressing these fears requires intentional actions. Consistency is key. If you say you'll call. If you promise to visit, make plans and follow through. Actions that align with words build trust. Communication must be open and honest. Discuss difficult topics, money, family expectations, religious differences, early and often. Avoid assumptions. Instead, ask questions, listen actively, and respond with empathy. Cultural sensitivity plays a significant role in overcoming fears. Learning about Filipino traditions, understanding family dynamics, and respecting cultural practices show commitment beyond romantic gestures. Showing interest in your partner's background isn't just about impressing her, it's about building a relationship that honors both of your histories. The more you understand where she comes from, the easier it becomes to navigate the future together. Reassurance is another essential ingredient. For a Filipina, feeling secure in a relationship means knowing her partner values her for who she is, not for stereotypes or assumptions. Celebrate her strengths, support her ambitions, and respect her boundaries. Reassurance doesn't have to come in grand declarations. Sometimes, the simplest acts, listening when she talks, supporting her decisions, and standing by her in tough times, mean the most. Planning for the future also eases fears. Relationships that lack clear direction often falter. Discuss your plans openly. Where do you see the relationship going? How do you plan to bridge cultural differences? What role will family play in your future together? Answering these questions shows commitment and eases uncertainties. It signals that you're not just enjoying the present but also considering the future. For long-distance relationships, trust must be actively maintained. Consistent communication, setting expectations for visits, and making concrete plans for closing the distance show dedication. Long-distance love requires faith, but faith needs evidence. The more you demonstrate reliability, the more secure your partner will feel. Ultimately, overcoming these fears leads to a relationship built on mutual trust, respect, and understanding. The fears don't disappear overnight, but with time, patience, and effort, they fade. In their place grows a relationship that can withstand cultural differences, distance, and life's inevitable challenges. A Filipina's fears when dating a foreign man are not signs of weakness or distrust. They are reflections of a heart that wants to love deeply and securely. These fears exist because she values the relationship and hopes for a future where love, respect, and understanding prevail. For the foreign man who recognizes this truth, the journey of building a lasting partnership becomes clearer. It's not about avoiding challenges, but embracing them together. The love shared between a Filipina and a foreign man has the potential to be one of the most beautiful and fulfilling experiences of both their lives. But that love must be nurtured with empathy, effort, and understanding. By addressing fears, embracing cultural differences, and committing to open communication, couples can build a love story that withstands time, distance, and challenges. In the end, the question remains, are you truly ready to face these fears together? If the answer is yes, you're not just ready for love, you're ready for a partnership that will last a lifetime. So, what does it take to overcome these fears and build a truly lasting relationship with a Filipina? The truth is, it comes down to preparation, understanding, and the willingness to grow together. Love, while essential, is not enough on its own. It must be paired with patience, cultural sensitivity, and clear communication. A successful relationship with a Filipina is possible and incredibly rewarding, but it requires a thoughtful approach that goes beyond initial attraction and romantic feelings. The good news is that these fears can be overcome. Many foreign men in Filipinas have built strong, enduring relationships by addressing these concerns head-on. The first step is understanding that these fears are valid. They are not signs of mistrust or insecurity. Rather, they reflect a desire for a secure, respectful, and meaningful connection. By acknowledging these fears, you show your partner that you care about her feelings and are willing to work through challenges together. One of the most important things you can do is be consistent. Consistency builds trust. It shows that you are reliable, that you mean what you say, and that you are committed to the relationship. If you promise to call, follow through. If you say you'll visit, make concrete plans. Small, consistent actions speak louder than grand declarations. Over time, these actions reassure your partner that you're here to stay, easing the fear of abandonment that many Filipinos feel. Communication is another essential factor. Open, honest conversations are the foundation of any strong relationship. Talk about your expectations, your concerns, and your plans for the future. Discuss important topics such as finances, family involvement, and religious beliefs early on. Avoiding these conversations doesn't make the issues disappear. It only delays potential conflicts. When both partners feel heard and understood, fears begin to fade. Communication also means being honest about your intentions. If you're not looking for a long-term relationship, say so. If you are, discuss what that future looks like. Clarity prevents misunderstandings and helps both partners align their goals. Cultural sensitivity plays a significant role in overcoming fears. Understanding your partner's cultural background shows respect and deepens the connection. In Filipino culture, family is central. Decisions are often made collectively, and family approval is important. Embracing this aspect of your partner's life, rather than resisting it, can strengthen your bond. Attend family gatherings, show respect to her parents, and learn about Filipino traditions. These actions demonstrate that you are committed not only to her, but also to the values and relationships that matter to her. Reassurance is another key element. Many fears stem from insecurity, whether about the future of the relationship, cultural differences, or personal worth. Providing reassurance means showing appreciation for your partner's true self. Celebrate her strengths, support her ambitions, and be there during difficult times. Reassurance isn't always verbal. It's shown through actions, presence, and reliability. A Filipina who feels secure and valued will open her heart fully, creating a relationship based on trust and love. Setting boundaries is equally important. Relationships thrive when both partners understand and respect each other's limits. Discuss financial responsibilities openly. Clarify what you're comfortable contributing and what expectations you have for shared expenses. Misunderstandings about money can lead to resentment if not addressed early. Boundaries also apply to family involvement, personal space, and lifestyle choices. Being upfront about these topics ensures that both partners feel respected and understood. Planning for the future together is a powerful way to ease fears. Relationships without direction often falter. Discuss your plans openly, whether it's living in the Philippines, relocating abroad, or managing long-distance dynamics. What role will family play in your future together? How will cultural differences be navigated? Answering these questions together shows commitment and builds a roadmap for the relationship. A clear plan reassures both partners that the relationship has a future worth working toward. For long-distance relationships, trust must be actively maintained. Consistent communication, planned visits, and future-oriented conversations help bridge the physical gap. Trust also requires faith in each other's intentions. Jealousy and insecurity can creep in when distance makes communication difficult. Reassurance, honesty, and effort are essential. Share daily experiences, celebrate milestones together, and make future plans that provide a sense of direction and purpose. Patience is a virtue in any relationship, but especially when dating a Filipina. Building trust, understanding cultural differences, and addressing fears take time. Rushing into cohabitation or marriage without addressing underlying concerns can lead to future regrets. Let the relationship grow naturally. Celebrate small milestones and allow time for deeper understanding. Patience shows respect for your partner's pace and comfort level. Mutual respect is the cornerstone of any successful relationship. Respecting your partner's culture, family ties, and personal boundaries fosters trust and emotional intimacy. Respect means valuing each other's opinions, listening actively, and supporting each other's goals. When respect is present, differences become opportunities for growth rather than sources of conflict. Authenticity matters most. Be genuine in your intentions, actions, and words. Many Filipinos fear being deceived because they invest deeply in relationships when they trust someone. Authenticity builds trust and allows both partners to be vulnerable. Share your dreams, fears, and flaws openly. Real love grows when both partners are honest about who they are and what they want. A successful relationship with a Filipina requires effort, empathy, and commitment. The fears of abandonment, cultural misunderstanding, trust issues, financial expectations, and personal insecurities are not insurmountable obstacles. They are opportunities for deeper connection and understanding. Addressing these fears with compassion and patience lays the foundation for a love that can withstand time, distance, and life's inevitable challenges. The love shared between a Filipina and a foreign man has the potential to be one of the most fulfilling experiences of both their lives. When both partners are willing to face challenges together, they create a relationship built on trust, respect, and mutual understanding. The connection transcends cultural differences and grows stronger through shared experiences, open communication, and consistent effort. In the end, the question remains, are you truly ready for the reality of dating a Filipina? If the answer is yes, if you are prepared to understand her fears, respect her culture, and invest in the relationship, then you are ready for a partnership that offers deep emotional connection, unwavering loyalty, and lasting love. The fears will fade, leaving behind a love story built on trust, respect, and shared dreams. With patience, understanding, and commitment, you can build a relationship that stands the test of time, a love that truly lasts a lifetime. In the end, the truth about dating a Filipina is that it can be one of the most beautiful and rewarding experiences of your life, but only if you are truly prepared for it. Love here is deep, loyal, and genuine, but it doesn't come without its complexities. The fears that many Filipinos carry, whether it's about trust, cultural differences, financial expectations, or being judged, are not just obstacles. They are opportunities to build a stronger, more meaningful connection. These fears exist because they care deeply. They invest fully in relationships when they believe in them, and with that level of commitment comes vulnerability. For a relationship with a Filipina to truly thrive, it requires more than romantic gestures and sweet words. It requires understanding. It demands patience. It needs respect. You must be willing to see beyond the surface, to embrace the cultural nuances, and to have the hard conversations early on. Discuss the future. Talk about family roles, financial responsibilities, and how you will handle the inevitable challenges that come your way. Don't let assumptions guide your actions. Let open, honest communication pave the way. The relationships that last are those built on more than just attraction. They're built on trust. Trust that's earned through consistency, reliability, and honesty. Every promise kept, every plan followed through, and every moment of reassurance strengthens that trust. And when misunderstandings arise, as they inevitably will, it's the willingness to listen and understand that keeps the connection alive. Cultural differences don't have to be a dividing factor. In fact, they can be what makes your relationship richer. Learning about your Filipina partner's background, respecting her traditions, and embracing her family are all ways of showing commitment that words alone cannot convey. In Filipino culture, relationships are not just between two people. They are between two families, two sets of values, and two lives coming together. The sooner you recognize this, the smoother the journey will be. It's also essential to remember that real love takes time. The temptation to rush things, to move in together, to marry quickly, is understandable when everything feels perfect. But true understanding only comes with time. Take the time to learn how she handles challenges. Spend enough time together to see how both of you respond when things don't go as planned. Love that lasts is love that's been tested and proven strong enough to endure. And when challenges arise, whether they're related to distance, misunderstandings, or cultural adjustments, face them together. Relationships aren't meant to be perfect. They're meant to be real. The imperfections are what give your story character. Overcoming those obstacles together builds a foundation that's far stronger than any initial spark of passion. For some couples, long-distance relationships are a reality they must navigate. While challenging, distance can also be a powerful test of commitment. Regular communication, clear plans for the future, and unwavering trust become essential tools. If both partners are willing to put in the effort, distance becomes just another chapter in a longer, richer love story. Ultimately, the fear of judgment, whether from society, friends, or family, fades when the relationship is rooted in authenticity. The more you show up as your true self and embrace your partner for who she is, the less room there is for doubt. Relationships built on genuine connection and mutual respect don't need external validation. They stand strong because of the trust shared between two people. So ask yourself, are you truly ready? Ready not just for the romance, but for the responsibility? Ready to love someone in a way that respects who they are, where they come from, and what they believe? If the answer is yes, then you are on the path to something incredible. The journey won't always be easy, but the best stories never are. The best stories are the ones where love wins, where commitment, understanding, and patience create something that lasts a lifetime. In the end, dating a Filipina is about more than finding love. It's about building a partnership rooted in trust, enriched by cultural differences, and strengthened by shared dreams. It's about creating a story together, a story that may have started with two people from different worlds, but one that continues because both were willing to do the work, face the fears, and choose each other every single day. And when love is chosen, day after day, despite the challenges, that's when you know it's real. That's when you know it's worth everything.